Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to take a look at a new brand, new to me. As I mentioned in my New Year's resolutions, I want to try out more brands this year. I'm going to try to make it, I'm not going to pick a specific number, but in my mind, I'm thinking like one brand, one new brand for like every month. So hopefully at the end of the year, I'll have 12 brands that I've tried, or at least something close. I'm on my low buy. But I'm also like, okay, I'm going to pick up, like last year I tried Valentino for the first time, which I turned out I loved. So the first one for this year is RMS Beauty. Now, what I picked up were their blushes because I've heard great things, right? Just amazing things about their blushes. They are the in parentheses, Dimension Hydra Powder Blush. I picked up 2 of them. They are 25 ounces, 7 grams. It says the lightweight, bouncy gel to powder blush blends seamlessly for sheer multi-dimensional radiance and long-lasting color. Sustainably housed and refillable compacts, you can refill them, made with 75% post-consumer recycled content. Made in Italy, they have 24 month shelf life. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, so I picked it up in French Rose and Maiden's Blush. Now I am going to try both shades for you today. Before we get to that, what I'm going to do is something a little weird, but I thought it might be interesting. I pulled out some of my more radiant blushes. And when I say radiant, I'm thinking like highlighting blushes. Like the Chanels, especially the Chanels of old, had a satin, some of them, not all of them, had a satin kind of feel to them. They're beautiful blushes. And the Suku blushes, they have a beautiful, like, they're melting blushes. They're other blushes, color blushes are different. They're different formulas. They are also stunning, but I meant sort of like specifically kind of like a highlighting blush. Because when I look at these, I get the feeling that they're going to be like that. Now, they could be totally different. So we're about to find out. But anyway, I picked up Sisley, Dolce & Gabbana, the newer formula in these little compacts. This is called the Flower Power shade in Chantecaille and Valentino. I'm sure there are others. I'm looking around me like there's the Gucci blushes, the Dior blushes, the Chanel, as I mentioned, Chanel blushes. There are so many different blushes. So I'm happy to compare others to this, but today I didn't want to do too many because what I'm going to do is swatch them on my face, which is why I have nothing on my face except for foundation. Now I have makeup on my eyes and my lips, obviously, because I didn't want to put it on just bare skin because I don't think you can really get the look that way. But I'm going to compare it to these others in swatches on my face. Then I'll wash it off and I'll put the foundation back on and we'll actually apply these 2 blushes. So the formula to me, it feels, when I put my finger in it, smooth, but like a little, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a little bit of tact to it. It's not silky. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. In fact, it feels very nice, but it feels like there's a little bit of like stick there, which is not a bad thing in a blush. So it's going to be interesting to see how these work on the face. I picked the Rose shade to try on the face today because it just occurred to me that I have in that like roses shade of different blushes that I think we could compare to it. So I'm going to use my finger and not a brush for this part. So we're going to take, again, we're using the RMS first, and I'm just going to put it like this. One swatch, just one swatch. Very pigmented when you first put it on. I'm pretty sure you can shear that out pretty fast, but I want you to see kind of how it looks. And it does have it's got an illuminating kind of feel to it, to the blush. Okay, so that is, again, I want to make sure I have the right shade. That is French Rose. Okay, so now we're going to take the Valentino. This is shade 3. This is, I don't have the name of it, but Valentino blushes I really, really like. This was a new to me blush brand. the Valentino is much more highlighty. And interesting how much like more purple almost. I don't know what the word, I think it's like more lavender that this blush is than the French Rose, which is very pink. All right, let's do the Flower Power from Chantecaille. Now I'm gonna assume this is gonna be less pigmented. Yep. Again, I'm just doing one swatch of these guys. And it has more satin to it compared to the Valentino that has more like almost highlight. This is the Dolce & Gabbana. This is Solar Glow. These definitely have like a highlighting, they're supposed to. Sweet pink, you can see there's the highlight and the blush. So I mix them together. You can use them separately, but I never do. Yep, definitely more similar. If I just use the pink, let's see if I'll do it here. Very similar in shade. Very similar in shade if you just use the pink side. That's the French Rose and actually has a very similar look. I love the Dolce & Gabbana products and the blushes are beautiful. So that's really interesting. Very much like the Dolce & Gabbana, a little more pigmented. All right, last is Sicily, because this is one of my favorites. This is the Orchid Rose. This is what it looks like. Yeah, if you want more comparisons, I'm happy to do them, guys. Just let me know what you want to see it with. So interestingly enough, I'd say the RMS is the most pigmented. Not as highlighted, not as much of a highlight as I thought there would be. So you know what? Let me pull out some other blushes. All right, let's do the RMS on this side again. There is highlight in here though. It's just not as, I'm gonna use the Rose Petal from Chanel. This is the new Rose Petal. This is the new formula. Yeah, you can see it's much more powdery. We'll try Hermes. This is Rose Hermes. Yep, definitely more of a matte, more like the Chanel. This is a Chanel. This is the illuminating blush powder. This is the Shane or Shane's. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. I don't have time to look up the pronunciation today, guys. Sorry. Much deeper in shade. So interesting because it looks pinker in but this is definitely, RMS has more, it's an illumination. It reminds me of the Dolce & Gabbana, to be honest, of all of these so far. Let me pull out a Dior. All right, this is 353 from Dior. This was Christmas collection? Can't even remember. No, this one has like a little bit of powder, a little bit of like almost glitter, but not the same luminous. It reminds me most of the Dolce & Gabbana. That is so interesting. And take a look. This is Dolce & Gabbana. Here is the RMS. Here is the Valentino. Chantecaille. Sicily. RMS again. This is the Dior. I'm sorry, Chanel. This is the Hermes. This is the Dior. This is the Chanel Illuminating Blush. Shane? I'm never going to get it right. Anyway. And I'm going to bet a Maiden's Blush from RMS. Let's see if it's anything like similar to the Shane's, but it has a little bit more pink. Let me wash my face, come back, we'll try the RMS blushes on the face. Okay, we're back with a full face of foundation and no blush. I am wearing the Makeup by Mario foundation. I've been trying it out. You know, guys, I have to tell you, I don't love it. And it's too bad because the color match is like perfect with literally, it's such a great, perfect skin match. And I actually think the coverage is really nice and everything. I think it's just not right for my dry skin. I think I'm going to try it again. I'm going to keep it and try it again. I'm going to try it out for next week, but I'm going to try it again in the summer. I think it'll be better when my skin has more moisture to it. I think when it's dry like this, it's just not, I don't know. It's like a little, it like sticks to the, I can't put my finger on it. It does look better though with the Brulon water oil underneath it, which is what I'm wearing. And I have less of like the lines and stuff. So I think that's it, guys. I think it's it's just not quite right for my skin. All right, so let's get into the blush. I'm gonna use a little bit of powder on my face because my face is a little, like I said, it's hard to explain. It's not doing what I want it to do, the foundation. This is the Dior Rose powder, the limited edition Mitza. It's really the only thing that I loved from the Mitza collection. I am picking up more shades of the lipstick, so I'll let you know about those, but yeah, the rose powder is worth buying, absolutely. I actually bought 2 of them, so just so you guys know. Okay, so let's use the RMS Beauty blush on my face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use both shades. I'm gonna use this shade as sort of like cold girl. I don't know if you guys have seen that look. I think they call it the cold girl or cold person look. Basically what it is to make you look like you just came in and out of the cold. It's really easy to do here in New England in January usually, although right now you really can't. Go outside where it's cold and come inside and see what you look like. Your cheeks get kind of pink and you have sort of pink lips, and you just make your eye makeup very simple. And there you go. You have a cold person look. I'm gonna sort of do a little bit of that with this blush. And one of the ways to do it is kind of smile, get the apples of your cheeks, and you kind of want to put it there. And you want something that's pink, or at least you would blush like in the cold. This is pretty much what I look like. This pink bright color. You know, I have rosacea, so I tend not to do this kind of thing because I've spent thousands, literally, in lasers trying to get rid of this. But this is now popular. It's weird. Anyway, so that's what it is, right? This is bright pink kind of, I walked in from the cold look. And this shade, this French Rose shade is perfect for, if you love that look, like that's it right there. Especially if you're a cool toned, pale person, little tiny hairs. So that's really all it is. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that. I can do a video on it if you want, but that's part of my resolutions as well, like trying out like new trends and stuff. Watch my resolution video, guys. It'll all be there. Okay, so this is a beautiful blush, and it is sheer, as you can see. Like when I swatched it on my face, it's much more pigmented when you do that than when you just put it on. This is a relatively soft brush. This is a KZ04, so it's not like it's a, you know, a Kolinsky brush or even a synthetic brush. It's not going to lay down a ton of product. You're going to get a soft look. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful finish. It does remind me a lot of the Dolce & Gabbana, which I think is really interesting because that's one of my favorite blushes, which you cannot get in the United States. So now we're going to take Rose and Ben. This is the C41 brush. I've talked about this. She is coming out with a foundation brush, which I will definitely buy. I love her brushes. I think they're very good. They're synthetic brushes. This is probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite brush that she has. It works really well for bronzer, anything like around the face, and great for blush if you're looking to do what I'm about to do. Careful where you place it because that does matter, but I kind of stamp it and then go like this. It's going to give you that perfect, almost like draping kind of look. If you know what blush draping is, it basically means you put it kind of around, almost like a contour. And this shade is going to be great for me for that because it's a little bit deeper. It's almost like a contour shade for me. It's a little too pink, but you get the idea. Back in the 80s, that's how we contoured. We did it with blush. This brush is great for that. This brush is great for bronzer, blush, pretty much anything. The shape of it is very unique. It gives you the look you want without having to do much, which is nice. Yeah, this is it's a great blush, really pretty. It's got, you know, some shimmer to it. I'm just kind of putting it almost as contour up here. Very little, not a lot. It's almost got, It's like I said, there's an illumination to this that I can't quite put my finger on. You can see it. It's like, it's not a highlight, it's radiance. It's really interesting. Really like it. Which I kind of was hoping I wouldn't, to be honest, because I'm on my low buy, so I can't buy more of these blushes. I am picking up new brands in 2023, but I have to stick with these two for now because I'm not allowed to go out and buy all, I think there was 6 shades, 7, I don't remember. I'm not allowed. Unless they went like half off or something and they were like a super sale. Then I could do it, but otherwise, no. So yeah, this is French Rose, and then we have Maiden's Blush, and love them both. I think the formula is sheer but buildable. As you saw as I did swatch, it can be very pigmented. So there's not too many blushes that I can think of. Like the Chantecaille is more sheer. You get this kind of look, but you really can't build it. The Chanel's of old, you could. Those were great. Don't exist anymore. I'm going to compare these to Suku and do some, I have to search through my Suku to see if I can find similar shades. Maybe do some swatches over on Instagram. But this is a beautiful, like it's like a radiance, almost illumination kind of feel to the blush that is rare. And I think it's probably going to be most similar to Suku in that way. The reason I didn't compare it to Suku today and I did the other blushes, Suku has 2 distinct formulas. They have the color blushes, I think they're called color blushes, and then the melting blushes. And so what I'd want to do is spend more time actually figuring out, and I'll have more of these videos as we go through, like what this formula is first to figure out which one I'd really want to see it with. But I get the feeling it's more of the signature color blush. Is it signature blush? Jeez, my brain. But anyway, I don't think it's the melting blush. I think it's the other one that has more of like a radiance, because those blushes have like a highlighter in them, and you can use as much or as little as you want, kind of like the Dolce & Gabbana. So I think that's what it is. But at the moment, I'd say this is most like the Dolce & Gabbana formula in the way that it looks. The shades are very similar, by the way, between the Rose and the French Rose, which does not make, you know, that's not a surprise. Maiden's Blush is a really pretty shade. It's more of that rosewood, and then you've got the French Rose, but both really pretty, and both capable of being sheared out, and then also having more pigment to them if you need it, which I think is great. It gives you more options. It'll work for more people. People like myself who like something a little sheerer and a little lighter can use it. People who like and or need a deeper, more pigmented blush will have it. So this is an amazing formula. Where I bought these was at like a little boutique. They were $30 a piece. I'll look online if there are links available. I will put them in the description box below, and the price point. That's pretty reasonable for 0.25 ounces of really good blush, in my opinion. $30 is a reasonable price point compared to the other, you know, blushes that I tried for you today. Dior blushes, Chanel blushes are obviously a lot more money. Same with Hermes, Sisley, Suku is similar, but yeah, I mean, I think it's an excellent price point. So I am very impressed. We'll see about longevity. I'll be doing follow-up videos like I've done before. So we'll talk about that later, about how long it lasts on the face, but at the moment it looks stunning. And like I said, I have the Makeup by Mario foundation underneath, which I'm not loving. And this actually makes it look better. It makes it look more radiant, healthier, and really actually very nice. So it did its job. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.